Hey everyone, and welcome to Teslas in Canada. I made a video about autopilot and full self-driving, how it wasn't really necessary. So I wanted to make a follow-up video on how autopilot does on back roads, just to show people how good autopilot is for the everyday person and why you may not want to or need to spend the 11,000 Canadian or 8,000 US on full self-driving. I will note that on some vehicles, when you purchase it brand new, you get 1 month free trial of the full self-driving. So that is a good time to test it out for 1 month, see if you like it, and then you could purchase full self-driving after that. Don't feel like you have to rush and make a decision on full self-driving before you even own the car. You can actually get full self-driving after the fact. It does nag you. You can either touch the steering wheel or you can just push up or down on the scroll wheel, which is changing your max speed that you have it set at, or you could adjust the volume with this one. So you can actually do quite a bit with these scroll wheels, something that you may not know. You could press in on this one. Please turn up the AC to 19.5 degrees with the fan speed at 5. Oh. Didn't really work there because I said please turn off is what it thought I said. Let's try this again. Please turn on the AC at 19 degrees Celsius and the fan speed at 5. Okay, so it's not gonna do it exactly there, but it did turn on the AC. I was trying to get a little bit too fancy, and I was just too fancy for it. Let's try this again. Please turn the fan speed up 2. So you'll notice here I'm coming up to a stop sign, and it is not going to slow down for me. So I need to take control. I need to press the brake, and it automatically disables autopilot when you press the brakes. And then you can make your turns. And then head on over here. And then put on autopilot again. And it will then go ahead and accelerate up to the speed that you have it set at, which in this case is at 66. It will enable the front wipers if it notices some water, and because yesterday we had, or because last night it is getting cooler now, there was some dew in the grass and things like that, so that's why the wiper went on, to clear that little bit of water that was probably on the front camera sensor. So you'll see how well it does here. And this is a back road, so it's bumpier, and if the camera's rattling around a bit, it's because the mount I have for it is not the best, and then I have a microphone hanging on it and all that, so it's not really the ideal situation for a camera setup. Filming this is great because it's going to allow me to see how much this car actually does nag you when it's in autopilot. For me, I find that it's not overbearing, it's not too much, but for some people you might say this is way too much. I find that it doesn't nag you as much if you are behind another vehicle, because it has a distance to pace you, and it'll slow you down and speed you up if you're behind another vehicle. Of course, it'll only speed you up to the max speed that you have it set at, so that is something to keep in mind. But when you're on a single lane road like this, they really want you to pay attention, especially out in the country. There's been 2 squirrels that have run across the road. You probably can't see them because they're pretty far ahead, but you never know. There could be deer that jump out. Of course, something as large as a deer, it's gonna notice it and do an accident avoidance on that. But something that's smaller, like a raccoon or a small cat or something like that, there is a chance that it's not going to swerve or try and avoid it. Here's a good example of a car pulling out in front of me. You can see it here on the screen. It looks like the rear view mirror is probably going to be blocking the camera or the vehicle in front. They got up to speed good, so it didn't even have to slow down. So yeah, Autopilot is fantastic for just taking the fatigue off on those longer drives or your daily commute. You still have to 100% be aware of your surroundings, what's going on. You need to stop at stop signs. It's not going to do it for you. You need to stop at red lights. It's not going to do it for you. It'll even show you that it's a red light here on the screen. It knows it's a red light, but because you haven't paid for the additional software upgrade of either enhanced autopilot or full self-driving, it's not going to stop for you. It'll blow right through that red light or that stop sign. So you really need to treat this like regular cruise control in some of your other vehicles that you may have driven. Now, of course, if you're going to a red light or a stop sign and there is a car stopped in front of you, it will stop, so you don't have to worry on that sense. But still, be extra cautious when you're using autopilot or full self-driving or anything. It's not an excuse to go on your phone or read a book or watch TV or anything like that. You need to be paying attention. I can't state that enough in a day and age where I see people on their phones and doing things all the time. You don't want to be doing that. It's dangerous to yourself and other people. Just wanted to, make this video, show you guys enhanced autopilot. I was hoping this car would still be here at the stop sign, but it's not, so I will stop. Otherwise, I'd go barreling out here, which I don't want to do. Make your turn back into autopilot. This is what's so nice about autopilot. It comes free with the vehicle and it just works so well. I can adjust my speed here. I know we're going into a 60 zone and there's always cops around here when it goes from 80 to 60, so I may as well slow down before we hit the sign. Otherwise, it'll wait till you get to the sign and then it'll start to slow you down to that speed limit, or sometimes it'll still keep you at that higher speed. So you have to be aware of that as well. And one thing I've noticed in the States, they have on their highways, they'll have a sign that states slowest speed as 40 kilometers an hour or 40 miles an hour. Sometimes it'll read that and it'll try and slow you down to 40. So you do have to be aware of that and how those things can affect your drive as well. Anyways, hopefully this video has been informational to you. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button and the like button, share it with your friends, and have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Bye.